dress-up shoes, you know what I mean? That real spaghetti noodle looking thing. I just grabbed handfuls and crushed them in my mouth.
In the great Central Valley of California, there are only two seasons, spring and summer. This, according to the great naturalist John Muir. I don't know what season Muir would call this April in the great Yosemite Valley, but I'll take it. I brought along with me a sketchbook, some watercolor, some gouache. We got in on the 14th, late at night. All we could see was the winding road in front of us into the darkness. No spectacular cathedral of light and color as described by John Muir, just darkness. Hatchet Wound Yum Yum was the first painting I did, and I was too tired to get out my gouache or my camera, so I used gel pen for the highlights against the toned paper and have no record of the process. The next morning, when I got up and looked around at this stunning landscape, I fell into the hopeless trap that many artists and poets before me facing the Yosemite have fallen into. And that is trying to capture it all, get it all down, quick. This one I also didn't record because the excitement wouldn't allow it. It's day 3 and I finally have myself together enough to film one. Little camera setup. Didn't bring a tripod, but I brought duct tape and a coffee thermos. Contemplating the lace-like fabric of streams outspread over the mountains, we are reminded that everything is flowing, going somewhere. Animals and so-called lifeless rocks as well as water. Thus the snow flows fast or slow in grand beauty, making glaciers and avalanches, the air in majestic floods carrying minerals, plant leaves, seeds, spores, and streams of music and fragrance. Water streams carrying rocks both in solution and in the form of mud particles, sand, pebbles, and boulders. Rocks flow from volcanoes like water from springs, and animals flock together and flow in currents modified by stepping, leaping, gliding, flying, swimming, etc. While stars go streaming through space, pulsed on forever like blood globules in nature's warm heart. I brought along with me a sketchbook, some watercolor, some gouache, and my gal. Well, technically my gal brought me. I'm what you call indoorsy, to quote the other great naturalist, Jim Gaffigan. When we first started getting to know each other, I told her I don't like camping. That wasn't really true though. What I meant was, when I was a kid, I didn't like camping with my parents, and that's the only experience of it I've ever really had. I feel more alive being around nature like this. Jessica kept pointing out how I would literally jump out of bed in the morning. I feel like you're really witnessing life here. We become narrow, fixated, we forget. We forget what life is. We forget what it is like to be alive. Our imaginations are strong and they build the most incredible flights of fancy. And we are bound to and blinded by our imaginary world of stories and games. Yosemite confronts these stories and games seem less real. They are at the very least put into perspective. Someone told me, "You probably don't get any inspiration for your type of art out here, do you?" At first I thought they were joking. I think what they were getting at is, my art isn't exactly Albert Bierstadt, and fair enough. To me it's obvious, but I could see why people might not see this type of landscape as being something that would inspire my type of artwork. I personally don't think there is any way to spend any time in Yosemite and not feel something like inspiration. For me, it's the textures, it's the growth all around, the feeling of life moving. It's the recognition that you can see so clearly here that the involuntary circulation of your blood is one continuous process with the rivers and falls and boulders falling off of cliffs, that your physical organism is one continuous process with the cosmos, just as the glacial rivers that formed Yosemite thousands of years before human beings stepped foot in the valley, so you are forming out of this same process with all of that, to get all Alan Wattsy about it with you. I don't know if that says anything about my type of art, but that's how I feel about it. Speaking of rivers of blood though, I went to visit the Ahwahnee Hotel during my stay, because that's the hotel that inspired Kubrick's Overlook Hotel in The Shining. Inspired is the wrong word. He sent assistants to the hotel to take photographs and measure every single thing so that he could make an exact copy of it. They must store the blood above this elevator somewhere. In other news, I got marshmallows in my hair while trying to make a s'more. I came to a standoff with a massive crow who was trying to steal our food. And I was reminded of the huge ants and wasps that made me hate camping when I formed that opinion of camping as a kid. Also, everything gets dirty when you have to carry stuff.
You see me drop that?
And one of my rules of life is to avoid carrying a bunch of stuff to a place where a bunch of people are. Yosemite is in clear violation of this rule, but I would go back in a heartbeat. Some rules are made to be broken. Some memories and opinions just need to be overwritten by new memories and new opinions. I have crossed the range of light, surely the brightest and best of all the Lord has built, and rejoicing in its glory, I gladly, gratefully, hopefully pray I may see it again. Have fun. Good night.